All right, here we are, week 18 of football. One more week to do our game picks. Will Keys, my co-host. Will is on Twitter at Guillermo Yaves. Follow him there. I'm Brandon Perna, and we do a podcast / YouTube show where we talk about a little bit of Broncos news, and then we pick all the games. It's been a success. This is the 18th time we'll do it this year. One more time than we should be doing it. But there is some interesting news, rumors, if you will, projections about the next Broncos head coach. I want to talk about it today before we do our game picks, Will. But first, today's episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use code DNVR when you sign up for DraftKings, or check out my coffee company, benchwarmerbrew.com, if you want to support my child's college fund. I don't personally make it. We source ethically great coffee beans. Benchwarmerbrew.com. We got 3 blends. And if you ordered the Benchwarmer t-shirts, those are shipping out this week. So you'll be getting those soon. We've got shirts still available if you want to check them out. Oh, yeah. All right, Will, before we get into the picks, yesterday on Twitter, it started floating around that Jim Harbaugh might be interested in returning to the NFL, leaving Michigan. And that drew attention by Broncos fans, by Broncos media, started tossing around his name a lot. So I just asked Twitter, Jim Harbaugh to the Broncos, smash or pass? Because the last episode you and I did here for the podcast on Monday, we were going through smash or pass candidates for Broncos head coaches. I think we got to Jim at the very end, but it was kind of like a fleeting sort of thing. And it was more of like just talking about Jim and John Harbaugh. And you said you like Jim more than John. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did say that. Very fortuitous then that this news would come out.
Yeah.
Whether it's news or speculation or hearsay, I don't care. We're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah. If he does come back to the NFL, he hasn't been linked to the Broncos. There's not like a report that says Jim Harbaugh wants to coach the Broncos. If any team that he's linked to right now, according to the internet, it's the Raiders. I don't know why, but he was there as a quarterback coach or some shit at one point in his coaching career. So I noticed that there's a lot of traction with Jim Harbaugh around his name. It's a big name. And when I asked smash or pass, there's a lot of people just very quickly like smash, hard pass, fuck no, Jesus, God, no. And I was like, wow, that's a strong reaction to
a
guy
really good coach
in the NFL was very good. So I tweeted Jim Harbaugh as head coach with the 49ers, his record 13-3, 11-4-1, 12-4, 8-8, 2 conference championships there, and 1 Super Bowl appearance. Lost the final game of all 3 of those seasons. Then the 8-8 year, and shit started to get weird in San Francisco. And I think a big part of that was Trent Baalke, current GM of the Jags. Trent Baalke, the reason the 49ers kind of took a tumble there. And I was like, wow, why wouldn't Broncos fans want a coach who in the NFL was very good and did it with 2 different quarterbacks, Alex Smith that first season, the second one, Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick combo, and then the following season after got back to the championship game with Kaepernick. So I would personally welcome Jim Harbaugh as the Broncos head coach. And you think maybe he's using this opportunity for other reasons, that he's not interested in coming back in the NFL. Is that correct, Will?
I think that's a possibility. I think if you look at his contract, He's under contract until 2025. So let's see. He's making $4 million for the next 4 years. He
Poor
just
soul.
took Michigan to the college football playoff. I don't know if you watched that game. Did not go very well for them.
They get burned by Ohio State, right?
No, by Georgia.
Georgia, that's right. Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia scored a touchdown on its first 5 drives of the game.
Tight.
Not very good. Not very good at all. But this could be a leverage kind of move, I think, to get more money. I think that's possible because you could make an argument he's outperformed his contract a little bit.
You could argue he underperformed his contract before, though, right?
Yeah, so he signed a contract extension in January 2021, which is officially a year ago. And that contract included a pay reduction.
Wow.
And focused more on incentives.
Oh.
So he made, let's see, $500,000 by making it to the football playoff. Also got $1 million for the Big Ten championship, $500K for the Big East championship or the Big Ten East championship. And I don't know if they've announced Coach of the Year yet, but he gets $75K for that and another $50K for Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Wow.
So he's going to make a lot of money, but I would imagine that he wants a little bump in his base salary, which is not remarkable in terms of, big name coaches like Jim Harbaugh. So I think there's a chance he's using it for leverage because this would be a weird time, I think, to want to leave Michigan after you take them to the college football playoff. But I do think he's a really good coach. I do. You look at where the 49ers were at. They were a very talented team before he came along. But they were kind of like these Broncos, very, very underperforming. Alex Smith was not on the verge of being a bust before Jim Harbaugh got there. He was a bust.
Yeah.
Alex Smith he was drafted in 2005. Harbaugh got there 2011. He was a seventh-year player when Jim Harbaugh got there and turned him around, totally turned him around, turned him into a good quarterback, nothing amazing. So he got the most, I think, out of Alex Smith, as did Andy Reid. He got the most out of Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was not very good. This is kind of touching a third rail. He was not very good post Jim Harbaugh. I don't think that's going out on a limb necessarily. But let's look at Michigan too before he got there. Starting in 2008, 3-9, 5-7, 7-6, 11-2, 8-5, 7-5, 5-7. Then Jim Harbaugh gets there, 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 9-4, 2-4 during the COVID year. I'm just going to cross that one off. It doesn't matter. And then 12-2, plus a college football playoff berth. I know they got killed. And there's a lot of criticism that he couldn't win big games, which is valid for a while, but he beat Ohio State, lost to Michigan State, whatever. Had a really good year. He makes teams better, and teams get worse when he leaves. You can go back to he was the head coach at the University of San Diego. He was incredible at Stanford. Really, really good. He's just awesome with quarterbacks too. And that's why I think people are really silly to dismiss the possibility, whether or not, it's realistic. If you're the Broncos and your problem has been the quarterback, no one's better at coaching up quarterbacks, instilling confidence in quarterbacks, getting the most out of quarterbacks historically than Jim Harbaugh.
And a guy who played quarterback in the NFL?
A guy who played quarterback in the NFL. Right.
He gets the game.
He gets it.
Alex,
go ahead.
I was going to say, Alex Smith, the year before Harbaugh got there, started 10 games, was 3-7, was 5-5 the year before, and also just 10 games started. the first year with Harbaugh, they go 13-3. Alex Smith basically has his best season as a pro at that point, dropping his his picks from like 10 to 5. Like almost everything improved with him. And what I kind of learned is no matter who it is, people are going to be divided on it. So Jim Harbaugh, good candidate for head coach, probably better candidate for head coach than a lot of other head coaches. I'm not saying he's perfect, but like if I were to say Russell Wilson should be the Broncos' next QB, half the people would be like, fuck no. If I were to say Aaron Rodgers should be the next Broncos QB, they'd be like, fuck no. He's only got 3 good years left in him. It's like, I'll take 3 good years at this point. That sounds pretty damn good to me. So
God forbid you mentioned drafting a quarterback.
Oh my God. You would have to be an idiot to even think about drafting a quarterback this year.
Yeah. Let's just not do anything at quarterback. Let's bring back Drew Lock again. It's crazy. Like people are getting to that point now too. Like, let's just sit on our hands. No, try something, you fucking morons.
It's like they think if you use the draft pick for another player, you're selecting like a Hall of Fame player instead of a quarterback, right? Like that's got to be the reason. Like, don't take a QB because you'll just get a Hall of Famer instead.
Yes, because every other position player, there's no such thing as a bust at like defensive end or let's draft an offensive lineman. Not always the safest bet. I mean, and plus like you get a halfway decent quarterback, so much more valuable to your team than any other position.
Oh, and
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a halfway decent quarterback.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a, top 15 guy. Give us a chance.
It would be nice. It'd be very nice. I mean, like, you think about Von Miller. He was drafted number 2 overall. That's a rare hit. Bradley Chubb taken, what, 4th or 5th? Where were the Broncos? 5th, right?
5th, I believe. Yeah, slam dunk pick at the time.
Yeah, and the production, because of injuries, not good. That's the thing. You can get maybe a guy who is great, but he could have injuries. It could be a while before you actually get your return on it. So you keep taking – the Broncos need a coach and they need a fucking quarterback. But people don't understand how to determine the validity of one of those being good. And they'll be divided on them no matter who you're talking about. And it's funny, too, because, like, over the holidays, we were talking football, like my family – and somebody threw out like, Peyton Manning he was a game manager. And
who said that?
He didn't do,
give us names.
He didn't do a lot with the offense. And all they were remembering was like Peyton Manning's final season. And I was like, 2 years before that, he set the passing record for touchdowns. He was like, I forget how distorted some people's memory can be as well.
They love to focus on the last year. Like Jim Harbaugh, his last year in San Francisco, 8-8. Okay, well, what happened to that team after he left? That 8-8 team. Jim Tom Sula gets there. He gets fired after a year. Chip Kelly gets there. They're abysmal. He gets fired after a year. Maybe going 8-8 with that 2014 Niners squad was perhaps an overachievement.
Yeah.
let's take the tenure as a whole, as opposed to the last time we saw them. Because he didn't get fired because they were bad. He got fired, and this is the only knock on Jim Harbaugh. He kind of rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
And
guess who he was rubbing the wrong way?
Trent Baalke.
Who nobody wants to coach for right now. Nobody wants to go coach for that asshole. Like
Exactly.
Bill O'Brien.
And Jed York too, who they did not get along publicly or behind closed doors, especially. But those two guys are not the best at what they do. Jed York did make a nice move, I think, by getting Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. But
yeah, and you can be a coach and rub people the wrong way as long as your players respect you. Like Bill Belichick,
right?
I'm sure rubs a lot of players the wrong way, but he's respected by him. If you are good at your job, that's okay, and it's okay to maybe not get along the best with ownership as long as it translates on the field. And sometimes when you're really good at what you do, like Jim Harbaugh, or I don't know, there's another guy that rubs people the wrong way recently. His name is Aaron Rodgers. Don't matter when he goes out on the field and is the best quarterback every week. Jim Harbaugh was considered one of the best 10 coaches in the league. That would be a vast improvement for the Broncos. And
you know who got along really well with ownership? Vance Joseph.
Yeah. Yeah, Vance Joseph was handpicked by John Elway, loved by Joe Ellis. Like, the Broncos don't really have ownership. That's another issue.
Well, he got along too well with ownership, specifically in Johnny Bullen, and a couple wild nights. But yeah, that's not the measure of success. Obviously, it's not the measure of success. We want a guy who's going to win games, and we want a guy who's good with quarterbacks. The Raiders thing, I don't know why he's automatically being linked to the Raiders. And I don't know, like if the Raiders make the playoffs and let's say they get crazy and win a game, I don't know that Rich Bisaccia is necessarily out there. I think he's actually done a really good job with what he's had to work with. Knock on wood that nothing else happens because Nate Hobbs just got arrested for DUI.
Yeah.
Incredible. That should be
I love Raiders fans defending him. Oh, he was asleep in his car. Big D. He was asleep in his car parked in a parking garage exit ramp. So he still got behind his wheel.
That is not a parking spot, sir.
Yeah, tried to drive, realized he was too drunk and just passed out. Like, that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse on a team where this just happened and a guy killed a person. You know what I mean? Like,
if you're in the NFL, especially on the Raiders, and you're planning on having anything to drink, anything. I was going to say one drink, but if your lips are going to touch alcohol and you're outside of your home, just don't take your car. Just get a ride.
Yeah.
It's like, I know Ubers are more expensive now, but we're talking about NFL football players, not the working class like you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially for third round rookies.
They can afford it. it. He's going to make a lot of money, or he was. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what's sad. He was playing really well, too. He looked like their best draft pick in recent history, or one of
5 years. Yeah.
God. All right. Lightning in the mood with a little DraftKings sports book before we get to our picks. This week, DraftKings is offering you, the bettor, a chance to win money by paying just $5. You bet $5 on any football team to win their game. If they do, you can win $200 in free bets with code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on football with same-game parlays. Make some bets like which Raider is going to test for being drunk during the football game. Maybe that's in the parlay. I don't know.
Marshawn Lynch, probably.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch for sure, but he can get away with it. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. DraftKings, safe, secure, reliable, and best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code DNVR, and you got $5 on any team, college or pro, to win. You can win $200 in free bets if they're victorious. That's promo code DNVR this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Okay. But we will take Jim Harbaugh if that's real. We're just not convinced that it is.
One last thing. why automatically are we linking him to the Raiders when the Chicago Bears, the team he got drafted by, is about to have a vacancy at head coach too? I mean, doesn't that make as much sense or possibly more? I don't know.
It makes as much sense for sure. And I think that there's now this Sean Payton rumors that he could switch teams for some reason.
I would actually understand that if I'm Sean Payton.
I would understand if I'm Sean Payton, but he can't just leave. He can't just I think he's got to be traded. I don't know how that even works, but I think he's getting linked to the Bears as well. I don't know. Shit's getting wild right now because there's a lot of desperate teams who think they're a coach away or a coach and a QB away. But we'll see. We'll see if the Broncos actually pull the trigger and kill Vic Fangio.
As always, leverage, more money, etc.
Okay, so we've got the picks. Look at that. We had a strong week 17. 130 points for us.
We're turning the corner.
Just a little too late for us, Will. Ooh, Travis Moody extends his lead. 171-84. Second place, Dalton. Kevin almost there in third place, tied with Evan Howell. Looks like Travis Moody's going to win this league. I'm sure we can do this into the playoffs, but we'll crown Travis Moody champion next week, unless, of course, he has some sort of awful week there.
Yeah, let's not jinx him.
Oh, I want to jinx him, and I want to get up in there. Okay, this week, the final week. Let's see. Oh, my God. First game of the week, I forgot it's the Broncos.
Might as well be. Let's get it over with. Let's get it moving, fellas.
Just get it done. Saturday afternoon. Chiefs actually have to try in this game.
Yeah.
4% taking the Broncos. We'll take the Chiefs. I don't want the Broncos to win. So we'll go. Okay, look at this. Cowboys, Eagles. 78% of the public picking the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles have clinched a playoff spot, so they can lose, and they're still in the playoffs, but I don't think it's this close. I don't think Dallas is that much better than the Eagles.
I don't think any wild card team should be resting their starters. I don't think you get to rest your starters unless, you've clinched a division. That's my rule, personally.
Are the Eagles resting their starters?
I haven't heard one way or another, but it's been done before for teams that are locked into their position.
I don't think Nick Sirianni is going to rest anybody.
No, I think you're exactly right. No, I was just watching on the Manning cast. I thought it was interesting. They talked about how, the Giants were a wild card team who were locked into their seed in 2007, played hard against the Patriots and lost, and ended up being a good thing that they did. So I don't know. I like the Eagles. I really like. We've talked about it, but they have a strong identity. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be pissed off that he almost got flattened by Washington Stadium. Soon to be the Washington Admirals, just a guess. And give me the Eagles at home. The Cowboys have been playing not very well recently against teams other than Washington.
Yeah. Plus, I just saw Micah Parsons on the COVID list. I don't know if that actually jeopardizes his. Let's see. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday. It's the Saturday game. So even if he's vaccinated, it's
gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough because he's got to test out negative. I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. Okay, Bengals Browns. We know Baker Mayfield not going to play, going to get that desperately needed surgery and try and save his career.
Yep, the Browns are resting their starters.
As are the Bengals.
That they are.
Joe Burrow's not going to play, and he's not the only one.
Interesting matchup here of two former Broncos, Brandon Allen, Case Keenum.
Oh shit, we got the Bronco Bowl within the double B's.
That's right.
I'll go with the Bengals. I think they're just a better team, and
Yeah, the Browns just looked so uninspired aside from
God.
aside from Nick Chubb's stiff arm. They looked very
that
uninspired.
one stiff arm was amazing.
That was such a funny game on Monday.
Oh man.
Perfect send off for Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. I mean, well, in my opinion, him losing would have been the perfect send off. So
well, I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of a, what do you call it? Symbol of the last couple of years of his career. Just so ineffective, and yet his defense and running game steps up for him.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Running game less so, but
it's basically Najee Harris's best game.
Yeah, he's. I would love to see him behind a better offensive line.
Yeah, it's funny to say the Steelers with the bad offensive line too.
Yeah, it's times have changed. I don't like who's starting for the Packers. Jordan Love probably. Well, no, he's not going to start, but
no, I think Rodgers wants to play.
I'm betting he's going to play more than half the game.
Yeah, and Detroit had a rough weekend. I think they're packing it up as well. So I'll take the Packers. Detroit could win that game if they want to go out hard, but it's in their best interest to lose anyway. Bears, Vikings. Oh my God. What a crappy game. 6-10, 7-9.
Justin Fields should be starting.
Yep.
For one last time.
Is Cousins still going to be out or not? Will he be able to get back in? He should maybe be back.
I think he's going to be back. I don't think we'll be seeing Kellen Mond.
No.
Everybody that's been complaining about Kirk Cousins, myself included, Sean Mannion has provided a glimpse into the alternative reality, and that is not fun for fans of good football.
No.
Do you remember when Alfred Williams said the Broncos should trade for Sean Mannion because he was with Sean McVay?
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
That was I hope he's not listening, but that was one of the most harebrained takes I've ever heard in my life.
Good God. I kind of want to take the Bears, though.
Sure. I think
their defense is really
so
good.
Many of these are just like a
this is the dumbest week to pick.
Except I'm not taking the Giants under no circumstances.
Oh, my God. Actually, you want to talk about Kirk Cousins lifting up his team? What about Daniel Jones with the Giants? They weren't
I think Daniel Jones deserves a little more respect.
But when you see the drop off from Daniel Jones to Glennon and Fromm, it's disgusting.
It's rough.
Yeah. I'll take Washington there. Why does Mike Glennon still have a job is my question.
He was better last year. He was better last year in Jacksonville, which is not saying a ton. I don't know. Good question, really. Why do a lot of these guys have jobs? Because there's not that many good backups out there.
I guess so. Colts, Jags. Colts actually need to win this one.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to take the Colts, but funny situation here. If the Jags were to win, that would set up a situation where if the Chargers and the Raiders just tied,
that's right,
they would both be in the playoffs. So it'd be really funny to see the Jags win and then see how the Chargers and Raiders handle it, because technically they could kneel down the whole game and they would both be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's insane. The Colts are because they haven't they're still in the hunt, so they got to win.
Makes you laugh thinking about it.
Yeah,
no, the Colts are going to win this game.
Yes, because the Jags.
Yeah, that's Adam's wet dream.
It is. Okay, Steelers, Ravens. Ravens. Are they still in the hunt, or have they been bounced? They've been bounced, right?
I think they've been bounced.
Oh no, they're on the bubble.
They're in the Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, what do they need to happen? Is Lamar Jackson back? Oh my God, we are so
It is
unprepared.
very fitting that Ben's last game is against the Baltimore Ravens. Very, very fitting.
Let's see here. I'm trying to just see how the Ravens can get in. I think it's pretty unlikely.
I think the Jags would have to win because the Ravens beat the Colts. A lot of things are contingent on the Jaguars winning, which
Okay. So they can clinch with a win and a Chargers loss and a Colts loss.
okay.
And yeah,
That's, it's not impossible.
no.
Again,
I'll take them.
I feel bad for all these teams having to put their faith in Jacksonville beating Indy.
Not going to happen.
Titans can
Texans.
lock it up. God, why do I have a bad feeling about this game for Tennessee?
Oh, probably because they lost to the Texans once already.
Probably, and that was in Tennessee. I don't know if they're going to get Derrick Henry back. If he's healthy, I would play him until you have the game in hand.
Locked away.
Because the Texans are just such a wild card. You could see them playing well in this game.
Yeah, I mean, in that loss, Tannehill threw 4 picks. They were running. Their leading carrier was Adrian Peterson. I think the Titans can lean on Dante Foreman. But yeah, they want that first round bye. Give Derrick Henry a little extra time to heal up, and let's see what happens with Tennessee.
It would be one of the weirdest teams to get a first round bye
Ever. Oh,
especially now that there's only one of them. Like knowing that the Super Bowl goes through Tennessee
it's crazy.
is honestly hilarious for how they've played this season. I'm not saying they're a bad team. It's just they don't scare anyone. Tannehill's not been very good this year. They're extremely injured. They're one of the most injured teams of all time, and they're going to get the first seed in the AFC. But hilarious. It's like it's not hard to get to the Super Bowl when you clinch the number 1 seed. It's really not that hard.
No, but they because you just got to win 2 games, which they're very capable of doing, and their defense has gotten better through all of this crap.
That's who we were worried about with Tennessee before the season was their defense. So many guys left. I think Malcolm Butler and I don't think Logan Ryan was there last year, but a lot of dudes were cast off and they've gotten better. Jeffrey Simmons, they're like very underrated player.
6th in points allowed. NFL team stats. I just talked about this yesterday, and I can't even remember. I think against the run, they are 2nd best in the league. Yep, 2nd best in yards against the run, 6th in points allowed. So they're putting something together. They're getting healthy on offense. It would be weird. I agree.
It's a team with a point differential of only plus 62. This is a team that got blown out 38-13 in week 1 and then needed an overtime victory to beat the Seattle Seahawks in week 2. Lost to the Jets, lost to the Texans. What a weird,
they don't have to play the Texans or the Jets in the playoffs. That's the good news.
Very, very good point. They don't have to play the Cardinals either unless they advance to the Super Bowl too.
Ooh, a Texans Cardinals Super Bowl. A Titans Cardinals Super Bowl. That got to be a low rated Super Bowl in terms of viewers.
I don't think I think it's hard to find a way to get low ratings in the Super Bowl. I think you could put just about anybody there.
I agree.
I mean, you could
Mostly,
get
but
the highest rated Super Bowl is
last
it
year's
might have
Super Bowl,
been
whatever last year's Super Bowl is.
yeah, it's like Kansas City and Tampa Bay, not the most storied franchises. And then before that,
Yeah.
it was New England, Seattle.
All right. Saints, Falcons. 76 taking the Saints. Going on the road to beat the Falcons in a must-win game for the Saints. Ooh, I kind of feel like the Falcons are going to play spoiler.
I do too, yeah. I mean, Taysom Hill played pretty well last week. That might just be, through Ian Book goggles. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of faith in them.
No. I'm going to
Especially
take
on the road.
Atlanta. And I'm taking Atlanta because I want them to win. Helps the Broncos in the draft if the Falcons win.
Very true.
So, all right. Wow. 98% of people taking Buffalo to beat the Jets. Bills need to win. But the Jets just almost beat Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Jets are playing hard. Zach Wilson's, if you look at his numbers, not very exciting, but he's stringing together a few competent games, especially compared to where he started the year.
Yeah, it feels like he's improving, which you want to see. But I'll take Buffalo.
I'll take the Bills. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Dolphins. We're going to take the Patriots. Miami kind of let us down. As soon as they played a good team, they looked bad.
Yeah, I mean this is the week 1 matchup as well. The Dolphins won in Foxborough. That feels like 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Patriots are such a different team.
Dolphins win week 1 and then go on to lose 7 straight.
Then win 7 straight.
Yeah. Patriots, we'll take them. Panthers, Bucks, just 2%. Like Carolina, I agree. Don't even care who they have on the roster.
No argument from me. Don't care either. This is a good game.
Ooh, 49ers got to win, right?
They do, yeah. And I think it's going to be Trey Lance again. That thumb injury seems like it's kind of serious for Jimmy Garoppolo. Leave it to Jimmy to get injured in a big spot.
Yeah.
They might be better with Trey Lance, though, to be honest. I know they played the Texans last week, but I think he showed some good things.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like the Rams are going to win, though.
The Rams were lucky to get a victory in Baltimore.
I know.
Their defense has been very impressive. Von Miller, I think, has 3 sacks in the last 4 games. So he's starting to heat up a little bit. I'm going to take the Rams.
Seahawks, Cardinals. Wow. Seahawks coming off a big win.
Give me the Seahawks.
The Lions. Yeah, I kind of like the Seahawks to spoil here, too. Okay. And final game, Sunday Night Football, the game of the week. You got the Chargers and the Raiders. The winner is in. The loser is out. Unless that weird tie scenario plays out.
Yes. Let's assume it's not going to.
Yeah, correct.
But if you were a fan of either of these teams and the Jags won, would you be pissed off at your team for both teams not just taking a knee because you're in the playoffs? Or would you want to give it a real attempt?
No, it's division rival, so I want my team to bounce the division rival from the playoffs. I think the last thing as a fan, the last thing I want as a fan is having to play a division rival in the playoffs, because I feel like those are the hardest games to win.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like when the Broncos made their Super Bowl run and they had to play the Chiefs. I was just like, oh no, I don't like this. And it was a close, tough game. So that's the reason I would be pissed off about not just accepting the tie. Also, I don't think the NFL would allow it. I don't think the NFL would allow it.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. They'll watch it happen and then make a rule to ensure that it never happens again.
Okay.
You would prefer the tie, is what you're saying?
No, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel. I feel like if you played that way, you just get the shit kicked out of you the next week.
Yeah.
It feels like that would really throw off any sort of. You'd forget how to play real football after that.
Yeah, because you're not going to play each other again the next week.
You deserve to get your ass kicked. I think. Yeah, it's weird as a Broncos fan, seeing a play-in game between these two teams and kind of figuring out who I want to win. I think it'd just be interesting to see the Raiders in there because they play funny, like close games. I feel like the Chargers are more likely to win a game if they get there.
Yeah.
But I don't like the Raiders. I don't like the Chargers either, obviously. No. But I think I'd rather see the Raiders for entertainment's sake. Also, I don't think they can make a serious run, too.
Right. I'd rather
Chargers like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert gets hot, could be game over.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that about Derek Carr. They're both similar in that they put up like these crazy good games, and then the next week they play bad. They throw too many picks, and you're like, there's still a lot to work on for this guy.
Yeah,
Difference is it's year 2 for Herbert, and it's year whatever for almost 10 years has Carr been in the league. God,
he's 2014, so this would be year
7,
8. Year 8. Feels like more.
8. Yeah, it's still a lot.
Yeah, for a Raiders quarterback, for sure. I grew up watching them switch between Kerry Collins and Andrew Walter and Jamarcus Russell, Charlie Fry. Weird seeing stability in Las Vegas / Oakland. I think the Chargers are going to win this game, to be clear.
Yeah, I do too. I think the Chargers are going to win. I think the Raiders have yet one more distraction, and
really.
It's just getting too much. It's too much.
Yeah, they signed Eugene Robinson before the game, and the night before he gets caught with a prostitute. Again.
Oh, wow. Again. All right. Well, those are our picks for the final week of the season. We'll see who champion is next week, and we'll make our playoff picks next week.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to just talk about 14 teams. Well, 12 because 2 will have byes. So 6 games. Gonna be nice.
Things get a lot simpler, a lot easier for you and me. We will be freed of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. And then we're going to get hot Denver Broncos news. Coach is fired. Coaching search. Here come the views, baby.
Here they come.
Good night, Will.
John Elway played with exactly 1 ACL.
And he used that ACL to hire Jim Harbaugh.